Our entire lives, we have been told, do not fail. In school, if you failed, your teacher used to punish you, and your parents used to punish you. They used to frame failure as if it's a huge thing that you must avoid, and it's the end of the world. If you fail, you're over. But what if I told you that you can never win unless you build a good and healthy relationship with failure? Unless you learn to embrace failure in a way that every time you fail, you see opportunities there. Every time you fail, you see lessons there. Every time you fail, you see steps. You literally see stairs towards success. Today, I'm gonna teach you this thing that I've learned the hard way. That's literally gonna change your life, and that's literally gonna change how you look at life if you apply it. We are programmed by our school, our child, from the people around us. Since our childhood, we have been programmed to avoid failure. No matter what, do not fail. You must win. You must pass this. You cannot fail. You cannot embarrass yourself. You cannot fail publicly. And this becomes one of the reasons why most adults, they want to do something but they are afraid to fail and they never try, and they never become something that they genuinely want to become. There's this saying, I saw this somewhere. It's not my original saying. It goes like, I have tried, it goes like, I have failed more times than you have tried, which is so relatable to me because I've failed so many times. If you look at my content and my social media as a whole, I've been posting since a long time. I've learned a lot of things. I've failed a lot of things. Some of my videos do terrible, like 10 views, 5 views. But the reason I keep moving forward, and now we have arrived at 100 subscribers, which I don't think if is a joke, because 100 people in a room will be extremely insane. If 100 people were to come in a room and hear me preaching, hear me speaking, then it will be such a fantastic thing. I've been posting content since the past year, and I'm posting consistently, and people text me a lot of times saying, how are you so consistent? How are you so persistent? How are you so patient? How do you keep moving forward even after not seeing results? Because I've understood that failure is the only way to success. You can never succeed unless you fail. This is the truth. Elon was able to send rockets in space because he failed multiple times. He became a trillionaire via SpaceX because that guy literally failed and failed and failed and failed for years and years and kept moving forward, kept his lessons, kept learning his lessons, and then now, boom, he's a trillionaire. And when people look at that, they see the success. They see the red carpets. They see that Elon is the trillionaire, this guy is this successful, this. But they do not see how much they fail, how much they have to go through all of the failures, the downs, the struggles, the frustrations, the disappointments. I'm going to tell you this. If you want to be great in life, and it's not like I'm teaching, I'm just sharing you the things I've learned. If you want to be good and great in anything in life, let's say, for example, you want to become a fantastic boxer, and if you are afraid of failure, if you're afraid of getting punched on your face, if you are afraid of getting humiliated in front of people, then you will never become the person, and you will never become the thing that you actually want to become. You will never be successful in that unless you are familiar, unless you are good with failure. And I sometimes imagine if there was no failure at all. I sometimes imagine if nobody will ever fail. I sometimes imagine if everyone will be successful instantly. You try a business, you never fail, and you make money instantly and you get rich instantly. You go to the gym, you never fail, you never face any injuries, you never go through the downs, and you suddenly build the lean, muscular physique. And I sometimes imagine that, and it will be so miserable, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be so miserable? Because you're not failing. When you're not failing, you're not learning anything. And when you're not learning anything, then you do not improve. Imagine if everyone succeed instantly in everything, then the world will be completely different. Failure also humbles you. It makes you the person that you're supposed to become. It really teaches you a lot of things. I've learned more from failure than I've ever learned from success. I've learned more from the downs, the frustrations, the struggles, the disappointments than I've ever learned from the highs and the ups and the wins and the success. A lot of people want to become businessman, business people, businesswoman. They want to become entrepreneurs, but they do not think about the cost that it takes to become that, to become a successful entrepreneur, to become successful in any field. If you want to become a successful singer, you're gonna need to face humiliation. You need to start somewhere, right? If you want to build a solid personal brand, if you want to make a lot of money from social media purely, if you want to build fans, and if you want people to recognize you everywhere you go, then you're going to have to start somewhere. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to get humiliated in public. You're going to have to try something. And a lot of people approach me. They say, hey, how can I be successful? How can I reach your level? How can I make money like you? How did you manage to retire your parents? And then ask them, what have you tried? And they say, I'm learning, I'm still learning, I'm still looking, I'm still researching. And then I say, okay, cool. So how much have you been learning for? And they say, I've been learning for a year and it's been almost 2 years now. I'm still learning, I'm still researching. And I'm like, what? How are you ever gonna achieve anything? How are you ever gonna be able to learn? How are you ever gonna be able to try things when you are stuck there researching, learning? How much will you learn? Just start with what you have. And then they are like amazed and they say, oh yeah, you're right, I should have started. you know it's like our mind copes itself when it's scared of failure. When you're scared of failure, when you're scared of failing, you literally cope your mind saying, okay, I'm going to learn first, and I'm going to make sure that I never fail, and I'm going to make sure that I never get humiliated in front of other people, so that after I'm perfect and I have all the skills and I've learned everything, and then only I'll start. But that's the worst mindset that you can have. So the point of this video is, build a relationship with failure, build a healthy relationship with failure, shake failure's hand. Do not be afraid of failure. Do not be afraid of failing. Do not be afraid of humiliating yourself in front of other people because you failed, because you could not achieve the things you said you will achieve. And just keep moving forward. If I got thousands of people watching my content and thousands of people approaching me saying, wow, you're so fantastic, and if I became a millionaire purely through my personal brands, then I will not even be amazed, because I know I've failed and I've tried and I'm improving and I keep moving forward regardless of whatever the results is. Why will I be amazed if I just get instant results out of nowhere? Because I know how many times I've failed. I know how many times I had to be disappointed. I know how many times I had to go through the losses, the ups, the downs, and all the frustrations and all the struggles. Just start, be comfortable failing, and do not let anyone tell you that if you fail, you're over. When you fail, it's literally a lesson, and it's literally there to make you strong, to make you better, and to help you improve yourself. So I hope this video is going to help you, and I just don't want you to listen to this video, but I want you to apply the things I've taught you and I've shared with you in this video. And I promise you, if you apply this mindset in anything you do, you're going to see a lot of changes, and you're going to see a lot of positive transformation in your life. I'm going to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye. God bless.